Yo, what's up, folks? This Impact, and I want to take this time to welcome you all back to the Hurt Business 101. Let's get right into this video, man. Today's video, I want to discuss some tension in the air, man. It seems like we got a little beef, and it really seems to be kind of like one-sided, and it's based on Ryan Garcia's issue that he seems to have with his promotional company, Golden Boy, where he had some really harsh things to say about Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins. Let's get right into it, man. First, I want to speak on Ryan Garcia's situation that he has in front of him right now and how I feel about it. I don't know how he responds and how he operates through chaos. Some guys can actually still deal with all this outside stuff, but when they get into the ring, they still just able to escape everything and have that laser focus to lock in on the task at hand. I'm not sure if that's Ryan or not, but what I will say is Ryan is bouncing back off of he had a knockout loss that he suffered to Tank Davis, and let's just keep it real. He quit, okay? He made a decision not to get up. I originally thought he got hit with one of those liver shots, similar to the one Oscar got hit with against Bernard Hopkins, where he wanted, you could tell it angered him so bad because he wanted to get up, but his body just would not do it. The liver shot, you never been hitting your liver, you can't understand, or you never delivered a liver shot to anybody or anything like that. You can't really understand, like, as much as his body wanted to respond, he couldn't. I thought that was the situation with Ryan until he readily admitted on tape he got caught out there and he needs to be more seasoned than that. Somebody need to get in his ear. You can't ever say that on tape. You got to leave people to speculate that, because you very well could have said, I wanted to get up, I just couldn't, but he said he chose not to get up because he didn't want to go back out there because of his rib or whatever. You can't say that, Ryan. But I don't want to focus on your loss because I'm not going to judge you just strictly based on your worst moment. But I do have a problem with fighters quitting, and you did quit. So the jury, as far as I'm concerned, the jury is out on you. I don't know if you have that dog in you. But, he needs to be laser focused against Duarte. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and blow smoke like I've been following Duarte all of this time, and I have extensive knowledge on this guy. I don't. But I have watched a few of his fights in their entirety, so I can kind of get an overall view and a good idea, not just highlights, an overall view of what the guy brings to the table. He's a tough, powerful guy. He's strong, he's gritty, and he has like around, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, but I think it's around 26 wins and 21 knockouts. And based on the fights that I saw, he got he could lay some leather on you. And he's coming with that gritty Mexican style, not like a Margarito type Mexican style, but he's coming with, he bobs and weaves his way in. And when he gets on the inside, he unleashes his power. He got a lot of grit to him. And you got to be careful with a guy like that. And I don't believe Ryan Garcia is 100% locked in. I don't know what's going on with him and his team, but I can tell you what I did observe. There's a few things that I seen that kind of brought this situation to a head. The first thing I seen was, I can say this. Ryan Garcia started feeling some kind of way, really, I believe when he first started going through this, when, he had that fight against Tank and he lost that fight. And during the post-fight presser and all that stuff, it was being put in his ear, and also he probably was feeling it too. He didn't feel as though he was supported enough by Oscar and Golden Boy. They gave their reasons for not being there, saying it was some serious stuff, and Bernard said there was some accusations made against him that made him not be able to be there, and that was from Bernard Hopkins' point of view. And Oscar also said that it was some things going on. But whatever he felt about the lack of support in that moment is kind of what started the beef with him. along with guys from the other promotional company also putting it in his head, like your own team, you know what I mean, didn't stand beside you in one of your darkest moments and stuff like that. And he soaked all of that in along with how he probably was feeling. But so that's where I believe it mostly started with the promotional company for Ryan. But I'm gonna tell you what happened. And there's guys that question, I don't get into the picking sides on promotional companies and all that, who's better and this, that. I don't do all that. I don't give a damn about none of that. I just care who gives me the best product for my time and money at that time. That's the side I'm on that day. So when I did notice, and people question Golden Boy, where they lost Ryan, they looking like they're about to lose Ryan, and they lost Canelo. So it must be something wrong. I don't know about the business aspect. I don't know about all of that, what they're doing as far as the business. I'm not involved in that. But I'm going to tell you what I did observe and what I know just based on what they've been saying and the two individuals that is involving. Okay, to mention, when Ryan Garcia was going through, his supposed mental issues, at that time, Golden Boy, and even before the Duno fight, they were trying to get him to sign up to fight Duno, and he was kind of saying no at the time, and it was some other things they was trying to line up for him, and he was turning them down, and Golden Boy was saying one thing, and he was saying another thing, and what I noticed is, one thing I could tell with Golden Boy, the two guys that are running it, pretty much Oscar and Bernard Hopkins, you gotta understand who those guys were. Regardless of what you think about Oscar with the dressing and drag and all that, people bring it up and all of that stuff. That's all got to do with his personal business. I don't even care about that stuff. But what I'm saying is I'm focused on what these guys do that I know them for, and that's boxing. And it's undeniable that both Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins are two Hall of Fame fighters. Their legacies are cemented. Both of those guys was willing to get in the ring with anyone, any place, any time, and didn't duck any smoke. So a lot of the issues that I seen them seeming to have with Ryan is they trying to juggle between I'm your promoter and it's business, and I'm trying to stand behind you, and I'm trying to echo your sentiments so we look like it's a united front. And then they have the warrior aspect on how they're built. And sometimes I've seen it even with Canelo Alvarez and Oscar. When Canelo Alvarez wasn't fighting certain guys, Oscar was echoing his sentiments, saying, he'll fight anybody, anywhere. He's not ducking anyone. He can do what he wants, and this, that, and the third. But inside, you can tell Oscar and B-Hop, at their heart, they were warriors. So they're looking at it no. Realistically, how they felt was, listen, in order to be great, you need to be taking these fights and that fight. And the second that Oscar wasn't able to contain it all the time, he started saying certain things about Canelo as far as, in order to be great, he needs to fight Jamal Charlo. He needs to fight Benavidez. He needs to fight Andre and names like that. Regardless of what you think about these guys, Oscar had a difficult time staying with the message when he knew differently. In his mind, he's saying, no, I took all comers. In order to be great, you got to accept all of these challenges, especially in the prime years of your career. And he had a hard time juggling Canelo's message and his own feelings. Same thing with B-Hop, and this is the same thing with Ryan Garcia. They're making comments about legacy and about him having to make tough decisions about his career, which way he want to go. Listen, man, those two guys that you're talking about, you see them with the suits on. But you got to understand who they are. Bernard Hopkins' legacy is sealed. You want to bring up the fact that he got knocked out of the ring as damn near a 50-year-old with Joe Smith Jr. because he said he ain't letting no white boys beat him and all that. Hey, I don't even want to get into all that race stuff on the channel. But I'm saying, he said what he said. It came back to bite him. Damn near 50 years old, it came back to bite him. You want to bring that up as he's an old man far past it, which, even the resume that Bernard Hopkins had, 40 plus, beats anything that Ryan Garcia has done at this point. So he needs to understand that these guys are total legends in the game. Bernard Hopkins fought anybody. He didn't duck anything. He fought Tito. He fought Eccles, was a dangerous, strong guy. He beat Glenn Johnson, which is the guy who put Roy Jones out. It was another one of the guys who put Roy Jones out. Tough guy. Bernard Hopkins stopped him a while ago. He got in there for Antonio Tarver. It didn't matter who he fought. He would fight anybody, anytime, anywhere, any place. Oscar De La Hoya done fought Mosley more than one time. He done got in there with Vargas. He fought Floyd Mayweather. He fought Tito Trinidad. He fought Ike Bazooka Cortez. Like, you're talking to guys who got in there and did it all. They squeezed every bit of themselves out of their career. Everything they could get out of their career, they got it. Win, lose, or draw, they stepped in there. So you try to get there. Now, you need to compartmentalize because you can't afford another quit. So you're going into this thing focused. If you got something, I mean, these young bulls nowadays, they got to put everything out there in public and on social media. Man, sometimes that's a private conversation. Voice your feelings, how you feel to those guys. That ain't for everybody. And the fact that you harboring on that and you felt like you had to let that out right there means it's in your psyche. And I'm not saying that, listen, he got the tools to beat this guy, but you're going to have to be focused. And you're going to have to stop allowing these outside things, anything outside of the ring at this point. Well, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, that relationship is done. So Ryan, once his contract is up, I don't know when it is, he needs to just get up out of that company because, it's going to always be something. If you feel that way about your promotional company saying they're against you, the relationship is not going to work. But we noticed in a pattern with Ryan. And he left Eddie Reynoso and Canelo Alvarez because, they were saying his work ethics and he wasn't staying focused and he wasn't in the gym enough and doing this, that, and the third. He had a problem with that. So people are going to be watching Ryan to see, is he just going to stay in a situation where he feel like he's being pacified and he's being told everything he wants to hear? Or is he really willing to take real training, criticism, and a person that's really trying to develop him? But that's where I'm going to leave that one today, man. I just wanted to get that off and let you guys know how I felt about it. Once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to this edition of the Hurt Business 101. And you know what they say, there's no business like show business. But I say it's no business like the hurt business. 1-0-1, done.